Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non for profit started by Autistics for Autistics. In it, they interviewed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so called behavior modification program. The Dutch Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. Well, folks, NeuroClastic refused, so you know the drill. Please read the article. Share on all your social media. Also included is NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever actually does see through with their threat. Trigger warning 1 when we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys. You're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to utilize your headphones. Trigger warning 2. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they're watching this, very obviously, parental supervision is advised, alright? So, where we left off, potential need for federal regulatory action. Individuals who receive shocks from the device do not generally make decisions about their own medical treatment. Thank you, which means, folks, they can't consent to the device. Thank you. And please spare me, but the parent did. Is the parent the one getting shocked? If the answer is no, then it's irrelevant. The kid did not consent. All right? God. Instead, decisions about treatment are made by agents of the individual, including guardians and caregivers. From an economic perspective, this may result in a principal agent problem. A principal agent problem results from an asymmetric information, where one individual, the principal, has information that other individuals, agents, do not have. Yes, this is about the discrepancy of information. The matter of fact is, these parents really, at the end of the day, have no idea what's going on behind closed doors. The JRC does not really give them full informed consent when they have them sign the consent form to put them on the device. If you remember that interview with Cheryl McCollins that we've gone over here on this channel, where she mentioned that she had no idea how they were actually using that device on her son. In fact, if you remember, she actually ordered them to remove at least 2 of the electrodes, and the JRC did not. Yeah, that. Right? So much for their so called informed consent. It's a bunch of garbage. Do you think these parents realize that their kids are being shocked for standing up for longer than 3 seconds? Do you think these parents are aware that these kids are woken up in the middle of the night and shocked repeatedly for so called offenses that went on during the day, depriving them of sleep, which in your teenage years is fundamental to development? I'm going to say they probably don't. In this case, guardians and the affected facility may be agents, while the individual experiencing the shock from the device is the principal. The agents do not experience the effects of the device, and many individuals may not be able to communicate effectively about their experience with the device. Once again, I'm going to point out, if you don't understand that a scream when a device is going off is an absolute no, But we don't understand what they're saying. I really want to hit you hard in the forehead with the stupid stamp. If you can't understand that a person screaming means they're not consenting to get punished because of their neurology, then I can't help you. Okay? Seek help and think about life choices. You might want to seek employment at McDonald's. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you see where I'm going with here. But but is that effective communication? Yes, it is. Screaming in pain is pretty effective communication to me. But they're not using their words, Tiffany. Again, I will draw you back to the scenario of when you're up in the middle of the night and you bump your kneecap or stub your toe. Do you give a eloquent soliloquy of "Ow, my goodness, that hurt," or do you scream "Ow, fuck"? Yeah. In that moment, how would you feel if someone stopped you and say, "You need to effectively use your words"? Because if your reaction isn't not the desire to just like, I don't know, smack them upside the back of the head like an idiot, then you're not really being honest with yourself, are you? So, why, once again, are we held to standards that nobody else is held to? I'm going to ask that until the day I die. For real. Though agents can quantify the effect of the device in reducing unwanted behavior, they cannot easily observe the adverse effects of the device on the individual. And the individual may not be able to communicate effectively about their experience. Again, I call bullshit, but agents may therefore recommend or approve the use or continued use of the device even when the individual would not have consented to its use. Exactly. Remember, the folks that have to pay for these decisions is not the neurotypical parents, it's us. Okay? We're getting real tired of having to constantly pay the price for everybody else's bad, insane, and cruel decisions. Okay? There's a reason why there's been a louder and louder uproar in regards to ABA in general, as well as the uproar against the JRC. Just saying. So, this is pretty straightforward here. It goes over the fact that the student's not even allowed to consent. Our consent in regards to our own treatment program, in regards to the JRC, doesn't matter. It's only what all the neurotypicals around us, in particular parents or guardians, want. So, we can't say, "No, I'd rather get a bullet in between the eyes than be put on that device." We don't get to say that. We don't get to say no. And the JRC is the most extreme case of that, but that's prevalent in ABA too, such as holding on to the kid even when they tell you no, to condition them to never say no to touching. You are literally laying down a situation that's going to make us vulnerable to predators for the rest of our lives because these folks don't think we have the right to bodily autonomy. But that's a new subject in and of itself. But I bring it up because, again, although the JRC is the most extreme version, it doesn't come out of nowhere. And if you think regular ABA without physical aversives is safe, you're in for a rude awakening and a hell of a rabbit hole. We're going to go ahead and close out on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. You know the drill. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to hit the comments. I appreciate your time. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you all again here in a few minutes. Bye-bye, everyone.